What's up guys, I'm Kadena with Crypto Now or Never and welcome back to another market update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so we're just going to start off by taking a look at the overall crypto market right now. So you can see that Bitcoin's currently sitting at 115,400 and Ethereum's 4,329. So you can see that over the last few days, we've started to pull back a little bit. Bitcoin's down 2.4% in the last day and 3.8% in the last week, and Ethereum's down 4.6% in the last day. But Ethereum did have a little bit stronger of a breakout, so it's still up in the last week. But if you guys have been watching my content at all, you know that I've been calling for a pullback on Ethereum. I've had this horizontal line drawn as resistance that we needed to break through, and then I've been saying I wouldn't be shocked if we came back down to retest it as support. Because the reality of technical analysis is once you break through resistance, you would love to see it retested as support. Because the reality of technical analysis is that a support and resistance flip is once you break through resistance, you want to then retest it and bounce off of it as a support level. If we can see Ethereum bounce off this 4100 range, then that could be very bullish. And I know a lot of people don't want to see a 4100 Ethereum, and I'm not saying that it's guaranteed to happen. I just want to say that from a technical analysis standpoint, it would make perfect sense. And that would not be bearish to retest 4100. That would give the RSI and stochastics a chance to actually reset as well. Because the daily RSI, the daily stochastics were extremely overbought. If you come over here and you look at the 3-day, they were also extremely overbought. And in the case of the 3-day right now, they're still pretty overbought. You come over here and you look at the weekly, it's the exact same thing. You can see with the weekly, the RSI and stochastics, very overbought. Now again, does that mean that we cannot pump from here? No, it does not. But oftentimes when you see extremely overbought stochastics, it means you're probably going to consolidate or pull back for a little bit. So just keep that in mind. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is that there are a lot of people who are predicting potential rate cuts in September. Now, if rate cuts happen, there's a good chance that it would be buy the rumor, sell the news. However, in general, rate cuts should be very bullish for the market. In the past, they have always been more bullish for risk on assets. So just make sure that you kind of understand the scenario that we're in right now. If you look at Bitcoin, it's in a more interesting position than Ethereum right now. Bitcoin has actually lost the 21-day and the 50-day on the daily. Now this candle hasn't actually closed yet, but this is a strong red candle. You look at Ethereum, it does not look near as bad right now. I guess this is the weekly, but I'll go back to the daily again. Yes, strong red candle, but it's still significantly above the 21-day moving average. And there's also a good chance that we could see price action bounce off the 21-day. Keep that in mind too. But Bitcoin is definitely showing more weakness right now. So the main thing that I'm watching for Bitcoin is to see if price action can hold a higher low. Ideally, we don't want to see Bitcoin break that 112,000 range or 111,919. If Bitcoin can hold above that level, then that'll still be a macro uptrend, especially because it also put in a higher high. So we're looking for Bitcoin to hold 112,000 and we're looking for Ethereum to hold 4,100. If those levels can hold, then that's definitely bullish from a technical analysis standpoint. If they break, then I'll reevaluate in a future video. But what's super interesting about this entire market right now is actually this indicator right here for altcoin season. I've shown this in my last several videos, but it's fascinating because Bitcoin and Ethereum in the grand scheme of things are starting to do very well. I know that sounds funny because we've been pulling back over the last couple days, but if you actually think about it, Bitcoin is sitting at 115,000. Last cycle, Bitcoin's all-time high was around 69,000. If you look at Ethereum, it's actually getting close to retesting its previous high 4 years ago. At this point, it is down 11.4%, but there was a point in time where it was down like 2 or 3%. But it's still doing significantly better than what it was in April. In April, it was all the way down to $1,380. But while Bitcoin is doing very well and Ethereum is starting to do a lot better, a lot of the Ethereum ecosystem and just altcoins in general are still consolidating. That's what's crazy about the whole situation. For example, if you click on the meme coin market, Dogecoin is down 5.3% in the last day and 3.1% in the last week. And you just scroll down and you just see a sea of red on almost every time frame. There are a couple projects that are up slightly, like Trump is up 0.17% in the last week. But pretty much everything is just a sea of red. And again, if you come back to the overall crypto market, you can see that Ethereum is up in the last week. So a lot of the ecosystem is not really following Ethereum yet. And that just goes to show you that profit rotation hasn't really started yet. If you look at Bitcoin dominance right now, it's still at 59.6%. You can see that this bear flag that we've had drawn for a while is breaking down perfectly. But in the grand scheme of things, this is still very high. During the last altcoin season in 2021, Bitcoin dominance was ranging from 48% to 39%. So yes, we look a lot better dropping, but 59% is very high. So yeah, I just kind of want to make sure that everyone actually understands what's going on. If you look at a lot of the projects that I cover on my channel specifically, a lot of them are still consolidating. Like you look at Mr. Megals right now, you can see it's pulling back right now. It's at a $33.7 million market cap. and we're just in major consolidation. You look at Captain BNB, the exact same thing. It's still just consolidating. You look at Cocoro, the exact same thing, still consolidating. Cocoro is retesting previous support. So a lot of the projects that I cover on my channel and just altcoins in general, I am personally still very bullish. Again, I cannot stress enough that we have not seen profits truly start rotating yet. So personally, I don't see any reason to be worried. And again, for Bitcoin specifically, we're looking for it to hold that 112,000 range. And for Ethereum specifically, we're looking for it to hold that 4,100 level. But honestly, that's about it for the update today. If you guys enjoy market updates and just getting into projects super early in general, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord as well. We've been making huge gains in here this entire cycle. Some of these projects, you could have turned $1,000 into over $200,000. And if you just look at the crypto gain section, we have a lot of Discord members who are making gains almost every single day. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to see you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about the market. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.